Hi all, Fuzzy Barbarian here. In this video I'm going to show you the best way I know of for farming the perfect set of dual swords. Before I do, know that due to the nature of RNG, the chances of ever getting the perfect set of dual swords from a drop is almost nil. You nearly always have to soul match and reforge to get the perfect set of special effects on any weapon you get. The problem is, you can't just soul match or reforge any sword to perfection. Some special effects can't be reforged. This is why, to get the perfect sword, you need the right kind of drop first, with some of its special effects already exactly how you want them. What are the special effects you need, I hear you ask? I don't know, because it depends on your build, but what doesn't depend is the structure of the roll on the weapon. What you always want is a weapon with 7 special effect attribute slots. From there, 1 will be locked and 1 will be inheritable. Let's have a look at an example. See that sword there, the Fudo Kuniyuki and Yagen Toshiro sword. There's a classic example. That sword has dropped from what I'm about to show you, the farming mission I'm about to show you, with 7 special effect traits. Fire is the one that is locked, and strong attack key damage is the one that is inheritable. The other remaining 5 special effect traits can be changed with reforging, and the strong attack key damage can be changed by inheriting. So you can see by the comparison sword on the right, which is the Suraga Masumi and Hocho Toshiro sword, that has changed to attack heart A+. I could inherit that into this other sword and replace strong attack key damage with change to attack heart A+. Then I could muck around with the other 5 traits, trying to get them to also have the best possible rolls I could get. Ideally, the one that's locked, like fire in this example, ideally that would be the biggest roll you can get. Plus 14 is pretty good for an elemental damage roll. I actually haven't seen any higher in any drop I've ever had, so that's pretty good. Fire isn't one I want though. Maybe you want earth, maybe you want lightning. So pretty much that's what you'd be looking for. What you want in a roll, but with 7 rolls, 7 spots, just like you're seeing there. Now, how do you get a set of dual swords with 7 attributes like that is the question. There's a couple of ways. You can start by forging at the blacksmith. I don't recommend that way. I've forged over 100 weapons with the blacksmith and never has a weapon come out with 7 attributes. So I pretty much consider forging to be the worst way you can go about it. You can farm revenants, but here's the thing. If you're just chasing one particular weapon type, like dual swords, then you need to find only revenants carrying dual swords. Since a limited number of revenants can ever be available in a map at any one time, and since even dual sword carrying revenants may not drop you a dual sword when you kill them, it's a very slow process trying to get a good roll on a dual sword by farming revenants. The best way I've found is to farm a submission in the Kinkai region called the Disappearing Ranjatai. This mission drops dual swords as a reward. In NG+, that includes the possibility for divine dual swords, and if your luck is high and you use a Kadama blessing for dropping weapons, and you have those cups that you can get from killing revenants and whatnot, then you can increase the chances that you'll get those divine dual swords as well. But either way, whether you have perks that enable you to improve your chances or not, this mission, the Disappearing Ranjatai mission, is the best mission there is for farming dual swords. Now, and I should say, all the swords I just showed you and all the best dual swords I have come from farming this mission. The way the mission works is there is a secret chest with a mimic in it. You find the mimic and kill it, or match the gesture it gives you, and the mission is complete. Killing it's the easiest, but if you've never matched the gesture of a mimic in this mission, I recommend doing that, as you can get a gesture as a reward. Once you've got that reward though, just kill it every time, because it is much faster. So I'm going to show you how to farm this mission now in this video. As you've probably already guessed, I'm already standing in the map now. That's because I've cleared the map of all of the enemies, which is pretty easy with this build. I mean, I use no buffs to do that. I've got all my health elixirs, I've got all my health still. I just cleared it fast and easy because of my build. If you want this build to do the same thing, there's a link in this description. It's the Justice Ministry armor set build that I've made, and it's brilliant. So all that said, now I want to show you, with all the enemies gone, where the chests are and the order in which to run to them and how to look for them so that you do it as fast as possible. This is where you spawn. This is the area where you spawn. The very first chest is directly ahead. There are some enemies just beyond this door, so when you want to, you don't have to go past this door to see if the chest is the one you want. Just run to the top of these stairs, and from here you can see there is a yokai realm in front of you when you do it, but you can still, if on the right angle, see if this is the chest that you want. Now, a mimic chest will have 3 horizontal lines on either side of the box. You can see this chest has 2 horizontal lines on either side of the box, so you know that is not the mimic chest. If it was the mimic chest, then you'll come up here, there's an enemy there, and an enemy will spawn here. You kill those, and then you run in and you open it, and the mission is done. When this chest is the one that spawns, it's fantastic, because to get your dual sword drop takes probably, I don't know, 15 seconds or something like that. So once you come up to these stairs and you look up there and you see that that chest is not the one you want, then the next thing to do is to run around this path. The next chest is in there. However, you have to open these doors, and when you go through there, there's enemies to kill and whatnot. So to avoid having to do that, if that isn't the chest you want, what you do when you come around here is you run and you stop here, and you can see the chest over the railing. You see it through there. You can see if it's got the 3 lines either side. That one does not. It has 2, so you would know not to run in there. The only caveat to be aware of is there is an enemy that stands right here. He will attack you the moment you stop here to look. So when you do stop here, all you have to do is hold your L1 button down to block while looking. He'll get off 1 or 2 attacks maybe while you are trying to work out if that's the mimic chest or not. You won't take any damage while you're blocking, and as soon as you realize it's not the one, you can just run and leave him behind. When you run up here, drop off here. There are enemies, but you can just run past them. Run around here, past some enemies. There is a ninja who hides in here, and he jumps out to try and get you, and there are 2 enemies in this room, and the next chest is in this room. Now, you can see the 3 lines are on this particular chest, meaning this is the mimic chest. This is the chest you want. So if you wanted to open this chest, at this point you'll have to turn around and deal with these final enemies and kill them so that you can safely open the chest and kill the mimic. Or if you think you've got the time, open the chest and try and kill the mimic, but I don't recommend doing that because you'll probably die. And but now let's assume for the moment that this chest wasn't the mimic chest. There will be 1 more chest after this to check. Now, the way I do this, because there is this ninja who chases you and there are 2 enemies in this room, the way I do this is when I'm running down here to look, I just run straight through the room, and as I get to the door, I just glance to the right. And if I see there's 3 lines, then I come out here, turn around, deal with the enemies one by one. Very easy. So pretty much don't stop in this room and don't stop at this door. Just run straight through, and just before you turn here, glance to your right to see if it's the chest. If it isn't, then you want to run around here, through here, and this is the final chest. Now, there are enemies around this area, but they will come in and crowd you in this room. If you're using the whirlwind skill on your dual sword build, you can absolutely obliterate them all in this area, especially if you pop a protection. I always pop a protection talisman just to make sure I can't be killed here, and then I'll open the chest. So I'll show you what happens when you do open the chest, and we'll complete this mission, because we know this one here has the mimic in it. We'll open it, he'll pop out. He'll do a gesture. If you want to try and mimic his gesture, you've got a limited amount of time to do so. So I'm not going to do that. I'll just kill him. And that's the mission done. When you complete the mission and go to orbit, that's when you'll get your dual sword drop. We'll just wait for that to happen. Next up, I'll load up the map and I'll show you how to deal with all of that with the enemies there. And it can be very quick. The longest one is when the last chest is the mimic chest, but even then it's quick because you pretty much just run all the way to it. So I find this farming method to be really quite good. So there we go. We got a set of dual swords that dropped from that, just doing that then. And that is actually almost perfectly what I've been looking for. I've been wanting a set of dual swords with earth as the element, a damage bonus on it, and the ability for me to put an inheritable trait into it, which I can because there is no inheritable trait on there, and there is a spare slot for my inheritable trait. My only issue with this sword is the value on earth is low. I would prefer it to be plus 14. And the damage bonus, less armor of A-, I would prefer that to be an A+. But guess what? That will become an A+ as I upgrade my familiarity with this sword. So that is almost a perfect sword. I really like that sword, and I'll probably upgrade that despite earth being only +9 until I get a better one, because I'm pretty sure I can get the damage on this sword higher than my current sword. So that worked out pretty good. Okay, so now we'll go in to the mission. You can see it's in the Kinkai region there. And we'll go in and we'll have a look at how to do this with enemies there. Okay, we've spawned in. You can see the yokai realm there ahead of that chest. Now I can just peer through it. I can see that that chest is not a mimic chest. There are only 2 lines on either side. So we'll run around here. You can see some of the enemies now. Remember to block here. I'm blocking. I can see that is not the mimic chest either. So I run past these enemies just like we showed in the last video, in the last run through. There's an enemy here. Sometimes he'll swipe at you, sometimes he won't. We got past him this time. I run straight through this room, glance to my right. That is the mimic chest. So now I'll pop a defense and I'll kill all of these enemies. I could pop some carnage buff and stuff. I might just pop... Yeah, I don't like that guardian spirit. But it gives us more damage. So there, all the enemies we need to deal with are gone. I open the chest. I kill the mimic. And that is that entire farming run done. Back to orbit to get my dual swords. Okay, we didn't get divine dual swords, but we got some dual swords. I won't bother looking at those. So that's as easy as it is. Now I'll do another run so you can see what happens if the chest spawns in a different location. I'll cross my fingers and hope it does. If not, I'll use the power of video editing to show it to you. But let's do it this way, and we'll see if we're lucky and get it in a different spot. So we run up these stairs, look through the yokai realm. That is not the mimic chest. There are only 2 lines on it. So let's see what we got on this one. Block. That is not the mimic chest either. Same path, nothing's changed. We just keep running the same path. That is not the mimic chest, so it's the last chest. So just keep running. This guy will spawn. We know it's this chest, so as soon as you get in here, pop your buffs. I pressed the wrong button. Pop a carnage, and then kill everything that's run in with you. Die. Alright, that's all died. I heard a noise then, so another guy's coming in. Just kill him too. He's dead. Don't worry about them anymore because we're not here for him. Open the chest. There's our mimic. And we kill him. And that's it. This run is so incredibly fast. Like that's the one we just did then is the longest it can take, which is no time at all. If you really want a perfect set of dual swords to drop for you so that you can start reforging and have the ultimate dual sword in your arsenal, this is the way to get it. We'll try one more time and we'll hope and see that the chest spawns. Oh, we got some divine dual swords in as well. I won't look at them. We won't bother with that. You saw I got it. This time we'll hope that the chest spawns in one of the 2 locations we haven't seen. If not, I'll edit the video and show you what happens when they do. I'd like you to see all 4, but we'll hope that the first one spawns. That's the best one. When the first one spawns, it's fantastic. We'll see how lucky we are. Nope, that is not the one, but we'll just check and see if it's the one behind the doors first. We haven't done that one yet. Remember to block. No, it's not that. So I'm going to edit the video here, and I will show you in a moment. Okay, so the very next time I loaded up this mission, the mimic chest is the first one, which is the best one. Now, so you don't get killed, the first thing to do is to turn right here and kill this enemy. Another guy over here is shooting at you. I recommend running and killing him. There'll be a couple of enemies here, just kill them, or get hit by them, whichever, it doesn't matter. But that's it, they're all dead. Pick up the stuff if you want, or whatever. So there's the mimic chest, that's the first one, and there you go. Done. So you'll get your dual swords at the end of that. And there's one other chest, the one behind the doors. You haven't seen that one yet, so I will load that one up now and show you how that one goes. So I've spawned in, and I'm going to run and hope that the mimic chest is behind the door. This is the 5th attempt at that. Yes, and it's there. So now kill this guy and this guy before you open the door. If they will die, feel free to die. Alright. Now when you open this door, there's a dude that spawns, one of those guitar playing dudes. Kill him. You'll have a red-eyed revenant to deal with, and kill him, and that's all you have to deal with. So open the chest. And so you can see it takes mere seconds to have you shot at a set of dual swords, whichever way you go. And you get sandalwood splinter, left, right and center. And that's it. That's how to farm dual swords. That's all the chests shown. Hopefully that's enough to get you doing it with some success. Okay, bye for now.